Will you discuss the plastic and foil Managizer, plastic wrap and foil Managizer, and how it works?
Okay, that's a jump, but let's do it.
Well,
Sure, okay. One of the, Hawaiians and people all over the world have used different objects for healing and different combinations of objects for healing. This is still a very strong practice in India, where they use different kinds of metals and different combinations of metals for healing effects. Well, we have new materials in modern times, and they can also be combined and used for healing effects. Anything that generates, it radiates a field of energy that can be felt, can be used for healing. And so one of the things that comes out of the modern world is actually made like a capacitor. Now, if you know anything about radio or electricity, electronics, a capacitor is usually an insulating material that is surrounded by two pieces of conducting material. And this creates an electrical field that has certain properties that are useful with electrical currents and storing energy. Okay? There was a man, the only one I know of in modern times who realized this. We know now that, I know from other studies and on-site studies, that this concept was known in Egypt and it was known among the Celts. But this man in modern times discovered that this, although he didn't know what he had discovered, he discovered that when you combine an insulator and a conductor, a field is generated that feels like a static electric field in many ways. Doesn't act like a static electric field in many ways, but feels like it. You can actually feel sensations. And that field has a quickening effect on the physical body. It tends to stimulate circulation. It tends to relax tension because it tends to induce movement. Even though it seems to be a static field, it tends to induce movement. And so it's probably not static. At any rate, anything which is a conductor and an insulator. So some of the modern materials we have, where we use these a great deal, is plastic of various kinds, and some conductor like aluminum. Actually, aluminum is the cheapest one to use. Copper, excellent, it's better than aluminum. Silver is better than copper. But silver is one of the very best of the natural elements. Gold is not the best. Gold is not as good as copper. But it doesn't tarnish, which makes it good. Okay? So anyway, but when you combine these, if you just, to make a simple way, if you take a sheet of aluminum foil, about 30 centimeters square or a foot square, and then you take an equal sheet of, one of the best to use is this cling wrap plastic that people use for wrapping food in, because it already has a strong static potential. And you lay that down on top of the aluminum foil, immediately you have the equivalent of a capacitor. Now, if you fold that to make several layers or scrunch it up in a ball, which creates a lot of layers, then you have quite a strong little energy field that can be used for healing all kinds of things. Excellent for relieving pain, excellent for speeding up the healing of wounds and bruises, settling a upset stomach. There's just all kinds of uses for it. But it works because of this potential for these combinations to form a field of capacitance.
So how would you use it with a sprained ankle?
You'd wrap it around your ankle, tape it there and let it sit.
For how long?
As long as it helps.
An hour a day?
As long as it helps.
But how do you know?
Does your ankle still hurt? Is the swelling gone down? You use the feedback of your body.
So would you do it overnight?
You might. Yeah. It won't hurt you. Okay. So you've got to use your own body's feedback to judge how long.